Hello and welcome to The Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal.
My name is Jason Duras.
Oh my gosh, Jason. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I made it back.
We're so
Oh, yeah.
excited. So excited to have you.
Yeah.
How was your day off? How was your Memorial weekend? Apparently that's a thing. I choose not to celebrate it because I didn't get it, but how were you?
I was great. I spent the day off with my child for the most part, and because I know it was my wife's birthday, but the gift to my wife was being with my child while she went and socially distanced with some friends.
That's
So it was
that's
great.
all I would ever want to do. And I told you that
Yeah, I
off
had to
air.
keep putting that out there because she's so worried how people will take that she went and saw people physically in person.
Well, they
Uh,
distanced. They distanced.
Total, there was only three of them in total, and they were in a big backyard, and
Yeah.
the ladies did such nice stuff for them. Everyone got like their own bottle of little prosecco, and everyone got Ziploc bags of like chips and things like that, and they ordered just boxes of food in and stuff. So
That's
it
so
was great.
nice. I feel like it would be hard for me, I think, to do that because I would really party and someone would probably have to help me into a car. You know what I mean?
That's the whole thing. Me and my wife differ in the partying
She's
aspects a little bit.
responsible. She's a businesswoman. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I'm gonna leave it, but the summer's
I end
here.
up behind the bar with the bartender being like, can you not?" And I'm like, "Okay." Well,
Well, y- here's the concern for me. Your reaction to that bartender is wrong because you're drunk and you're behind the bar trying to make drinks and you're going whatever. Like they're wrong, you're wrong.
oh, I'm wrong.
Yeah. Oh, let's be clear. You're wrong. Well, Jason, we had such a fun chat with Jan and Ashley, and you said that you were thinking about getting in the chat, and we did have a running bet to see.
I tuned in like maybe popped in about three times for a total of 2 minutes each time. And I was gonna jump in the chat, but I was like, if I jump in the chat, Stacey's gonna murder me tomorrow and be like, well, why weren't you just on the show? And I was like,
Totally. Can I say one thing to you that I think is happening? I don't think your Yeti is attached to your computer, or I don't think you're using it.
I'm using it.
Are you? Oh, it sounds
Yeah.
very okay. It is what it is today. I'm
Well,
not
let me
going to
see.
judge it.
Let me see. Maybe Zoom's not going through
That's what I'm
now.
saying. I'm like, let's not blame. Like, I'm not blaming anyone. I just want everyone to be their best.
Well, how about now?
I think the mic's on now. How do you feel about me becoming an audio technician? Like, just my general vibe and look is unlike an audio technician.
You're into like the I don't know what they're called, so and I don't want to say it out loud what I think they're called because then you'll be like
What?
you're an idiot. Onesie overalls, maybe I don't know, but you got these
Yeah.
straps lately in the. So I don't know if that is that the audio technician vibe.
Okay. Thank you, honestly, for bringing up this outfit because I would like to tell you what happened to me yesterday because I feel like you would deeply understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Okay. So we were talking to Jan, meaning I was talking to Jan and Ashley, and we were talking about like self-love and positivity and all this kind of stuff and obviously all those kind of things. And then talking about how we sort of make ourselves feel bad by like keeping clothes that we don't fit into anymore or holding on to the thing that was expensive
Oh,
or
I
yeah,
got high school t-shirts, man. I'm
I
good to
know.
go. I
So
still wear them.
so like and I
They
put
don't
on
fit.
well that's the thing and like when I put on something that doesn't fit like I'm like when did this happen, like when did that happen, anyways. I decided yesterday to completely organize my closet. I took everything out of the closet,
Oh,
everything in a drawer, put it all on my couch and floor and just went through everything.
I missed a bit of that. You cut out, but I think what you said is, did you Marie Kondo your drawers yesterday?
Yeah, and my full closet.
Whoa,
I
sick.
know.
I want to do that right now. But when I do that, I literally have I have a problem because I'll get things out with the intent to be like, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna clear it all out, only
Exactly.
like the stuff. But then like I pick up a shirt, I put it in the
Yeah.
get out of here pile, and then I go, what if one day I need it for a sketch? Or like
Exact.
what if it comes back into
Jason,
style? Or like what if I
thank
don't know,
you.
like
So we were doing people every
Are
week now.
cords ever going to come back? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they are back. Also,
Oh,
I
I got
quickly
a bunch.
I quickly put on my lipstick, and just from afar, I'm not wearing my glasses. It looks like I'm a kid who drank too much juice. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know that look? I'm just gonna check on my phone. Okay, it's not too bad. So I Marie Kondoed my whole house, and I have no nice clothes. And I'm not like, this isn't me like poo-pooing, because we were also talking about on the podcast, buying quality over quantity. Now, you know that you and I, our motto is quantity over quality.
Yeah.
We don't want tapas. We want too much on the plate, you know?
But, well, I disagree with that, but only because I'm like, I love tapas because then you get to try everything.
No, but with the taste,
there's going to be a lot of tapas.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I love tapas because my favorite foods are all the foods. I want multiple tastes on a meal.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm the kid who's like, where's the pickle plate? You know?
Like, that buffets are going to be gone after this pandemic is probably the biggest loss.
I'm not a buffet person.
Well, then you get to try everything.
Yeah.
It might be a childhood thing. We went to Myrtle Beach when I was a kid, and we went to this place, and I had never been to an all-you-could-eat buffet before, and it was like the heavens opened up and went, and I was like, this place is amazing. For $11, we get to eat whatever we want. This is great.
So in a way, like, I did that with my clothes last night, and then I realized I have no nice clothes, and all I wear now is just like a t-shirt over like an overall dress. And so last night I had to make some purchases.
Which you don't like to do online.
I know. I don't like to online shop, and I had to do it. And I just don't like spending money that way.
I go through my closet and I see these t-shirts. I'm like, what am I, a child? Like, why do I have all these t-shirts? I need some like, stuff with like even this has a bit of like an accent to it. So it's not,
that's a Henley.
It's like, okay, well then I'm like, okay, it's like one adult t-shirt. So then I'm like, okay, we'll just go get a bunch of new clothes. And then I come home and I got my bags and I open it up. And I'm like, well, it's just all fucking t-shirts again. Like, what am I doing?
Well, that's the thing, right? So like, okay, so I'm concerned because, and let me know in the chat if you do this. I feel like everyone does. When you're online shopping, which I don't like to do, I like to put things in my cart and then I like to leave. Okay. I don't like online shopping. I was like, okay, that's it, Stacey. You got to update your style. You got to make yourself feel good. You have to buy complimentary things. And I think I've made some wild choices that are coming.
I like
in the mail.
this. This is going to be, you're going to come out of the other side of this pandemic, a fashionista.
Because the problem is no one ever posts photos with women with boobs. And if you're a big booby woman in the chat, then you know, where you see like cute little summer blouses or cute little like just like asymmetrical like.
I thought you were making a joke at first. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. On the internet, no one ever posts pictures with busty women.
I'm not talking about porn. I'm talking about clothes.
I don't even mean that, but like clickbait and crap like that. Anyways, I see what you're saying. You're saying like in like the
clickbait. Zara's like, hey, you ever seen titties? Not until you check out our website. Like Zara starts clickbaiting.
Honestly. Well, that's what I mean. I didn't realize you mean the people selling the clothes, but that's
come for the tits and stay for the tits.
We
Zara.
should open an ad agency and just be like, we got it. We're good.
It's porn. Sorry, this lipstick is bothering me. So I made some wild choices that I know in my gut is not going to pan out. But but the whole point was to invest. So I invested in a nice pair of jean shorts, and hopefully I look like some blonde, big, booby woman who's like on a yacht, who's like, yes! Like I'm hoping the shorts give me that vibe. Oh my God. Can I tell you, just unrelated something? It's summer here in Toronto, which is beautiful. But you know what that means? I have to deal with the male sandal. I'm upset.
You have to deal with the what? Right.
Fabric thong sandals. I cannot.
I think you hate that more than any other piece of clothing.
Ugh, they're so gross. Ugh.
I think I have a pair probably somewhere.
You do. Oh, it's so gross to me. Anyways, so I had to buy my Levi's shorts, and then so what brand? So here's the thing, and please tell me if I've gone crazy in the chat, but I like to wear a ribcage Levi's jean. So they have a ribcage short, and I'm like, let's just go with the sizing on that. But that's like $80. That's ridiculous for
For shorts?
Exactly. Yeah.
What, you nuts?
Thank you. Ooh. And then I want to buy some Birkenstocks.
Well, that's fine, but like, yeah, I'm not paying $80 for shorts.
Yeah,
anyways.
but how many shorts do you wear in the summer? Like 2? You have like maybe 2 pairs of shorts that you wear like
no,
every day?
I got a bunch, but the problem is like this.
Yeah, you got a bunch of cargo shorts.
I don't have any cargo shorts.
Okay, well, you have shorts that look like cargo shorts without the pockets on the side.
Because my thing is this. I don't know any pairs of shorts that look good on guys. I've never seen a pair of shorts and been like,
I agree.
That's what I'm going to do.
Even the tailored, like these could be business pants, but they're shorts. Even those, I'm like, ooh, there's something about a knee to a foot. Like,
I don't know, because yeah, I've never found shorts that I'm like, these are good. Guys just can't look good in shorts.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the catch-22 of the whole thing, or catch whatever it's called. I don't want to see a man in thick jeans in the summer because I go, you're a murderer. So I don't want to see that either. But I'd rather see a short.
So the thing is, what you have to do is you have to just be attractive, and then you can pull off any short. But for the average dude, this guy, it's like I've got all these different shorts. I mean, none of them fit me anymore, anyways. But
Jameson says he's great in shorts. That's a bold short confidence. Now I want to ask Jameson.
I was going to bring this up too and it wasn't about Jameson, but I think I know the kind of shorts Jameson wears if it's anything like the slow pitch sort of days that he hangs out. But like, there was another friend we had.
But what kind of shorts are they?
If I'm not mistaken, they're above the knee. They're tapered a little bit, but like, so they're just like nice fitting, like regular shorts.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. Jameson could be like, no, that's not what I fucking wear at all.
He wears like bright orange, like patterned, could be a pool short. But I always
go to those like we have another friend who is like this big burly guy.
Yeah.
And he wears like the tightest shorts. And they're also like cut up. And that's what I was thinking of. I'm like, do you know what I'm talking about?
No. Who is it?
Okay. So Greg Hoche, love you guys.
Oh, the big dumb baby known as Greg Coche.
But and I'm always like, how does he? But he pulls it off, and I'm like, I don't know.
First of all, because Greg Coche is a party animal. So like, just to give people context to who we're talking about,
Chris Pratt meets Chris Farley. And
yes,
there you go.
And I was once at a bar, and he was across the bar from me, and he had a long straw, and he was like, hey, and then I was like, hey, and then he opened his shirt and sucked on his own nipple with the straw, and then went, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Hands down, the funniest thing. Okay, I just wanted to say that I'm not so feeling bad about my Levi's purchase because a lot of our pals in the chat, Stephanie, I support $80 for Levi's. They're good quality. They won't get weird over time. And Melissa says she bought her 501 shorts last year on sale and they fit so good and they didn't get weird. So I'm there for it. Also, I will tell you, I went to Old Navy. We talked about Old Navy a lot yesterday. I went online. Everything sold out. So I got to wait.
Someone told me on the weekend that they've claimed bankruptcy, but I've looked everywhere online. I can't find that to be true.
Oh, I hope not. But
that would mean like like the Gap was the same thing. They're like the Gap and Banana Republic.
Well, that makes sense.
I don't think so.
No, because Old Navy is linked to the Gap and
yeah. Yes, that's why.
Can I tell you this though? Okay, so now that it's really warm out, excuse me, I want to get from my Peloton some shorts. You know how hard it is to find workout shorts for women that aren't like $70?
Yeah, well, yes. I don't know that for like
Old Navy doesn't have shorts. What are they doing? I don't want to bike in a capri.
No.
Oh my God.
You get caught in your chain. You get that.
But they're not loose. It's tight. It's tight to my leg.
Yeah, not me.
You know, DeRoss in his loose capris.
You know the Wayne's World thing when she's like, hi, Wayne, hi, and then runs over the thing? Hi. I just do that, but there's no car in front of me. Just my, like, the little string that you can tighten up the bottom of your capris, get caught in the chain, and it goes,
I'm okay.
And it's a 7-minute scene of me on the ground just going, it's bleeding. It's bleeding.
The camera just pans up, though. We can't see you.
Every once in a while, just my forehead's in frame. Ow. I can't get
So
up.
Shayla is saying that they do have shorts, but they're sold out. Old Navy is sold out of everything.
Yikes.
I know, Jan, I'm telling you. I love it. I love a short. I always go to Old Navy for all my short needs, and they are out.
It's crazy that everyone's sold out of everything because I mean, I guess people aren't going into like, there's probably a lack of workers.
And they're not.
I don't know. Because the thing that blows my mind is like how paper towels and everything. I know this is like the common thought, but it's like, why aren't they just producing more? Like, it feels like supply could reach or at least try to catch up with demand, but still,
Right.
10 weeks in, we're still going to Ralph's and the shelves are bare.
Well, I think it's also the production of things.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I don't think about things too often. I just say things and then realize I'm way wrong.
Cool.
Do you know what there's a couple things that I think we need to get into.
Okay.
Because two things. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to figure out which way to
I
do
have
this.
one.
Why don't we talk about this first?
Yeah.
I saw your post. Apparently, I'm worth $20 million.
So that's what I was going to say off the top of the episode. I can't believe we're talking to the $20 million man. How does it feel? I didn't know that you had $20 million.
I think it's probably like, I haven't found the map yet with the X marks the spot on it because I don't know where it is, but I'm going to eventually find this map that's like, this is where your money is. And then I have to go, I have to do like family circus style, follow things, go over a fire hydrant and around and then find it.
Okay, I stopped listening a little bit ago, but I heard fire hydrant and okay. But I will tell you, I can't believe you're a $20 million man. You have more money than Dennis Rodman. That's crazy to me. I only have
Maybe
6 million.
Low. Maybe I'm worth more than that. Maybe they don't even know.
So I'm going to post this on our Instagram when Jason sends it to me. But
do you know how you make $20 million?
You just completely cut me off.
You sleep in a dining room. You don't buy a big house.
You don't buy a big house. You sleep under the dining room, under a chandelier that came with the apartment.
I also, as Kelsey just said, I've put up
also has a basketball court.
I've got a basketball court in my house.
Yeah. You're so good at it. Did you see, we were talking about it yesterday with Jan and Ashley, but did you see Drake? Oh, Jameson just brought it up. Did you see Drake's video where he's like, hey, y'all. No. First beautiful day in the city. He's in his like bridal path mansion, and he has like it looks like the width of his property is how big his pool is. It's massive, and he's just laying there. He's in the pool by himself, and he's just spanning to the mansion. You're not even listening to me. You're in the chat.
I am listening to you about Drake and his bridal path mansion.
No, you're not.
I am.
Don't act like every boyfriend I've ever had.
High five your friend Audrey.
Don't high five her. Don't touch her. She's my friend. You have nothing.
Well, she knows the family circus reference. I'm like, okay, great. I'm not the only. That's the only one.
Oh my god, I can't believe you. This is strike one.
I need help sometimes.
Well, what I wanted to tell you was in the article about Jason Deruss being a $20 million man, they have linked a video.
Who has?
The article linked a video that I couldn't get. I couldn't rip. It is you, the video I shot for you, and I believe edited. I edited that video for you.
Is this
the original Muscle Beach?
What the fuck is going on?
So I'm going to post this video that Jason and I made on our Instagram.
Can we give context to that video? Because people are like, hey man, good video. And I'm like...
I created it, like edited the thing. Jason was a masterpiece. Can you explain what it was?
I got a call from somebody when we were down here for pilot season back in Toronto. And they're like, we want to put you... we need to... It's kind of like this host thing. We need you to just put yourself on tape. And I almost didn't do it, but then you were even like, you just got to do it, man. And then we were on Santa Monica Beach, and we just shot a bunch of bullshit for the day.
It was so fun.
And then even at the end, I was like, I don't want to put this out there to the public. And you go, well, if you don't, I will. So then it came out.
Yeah.
And that was years ago. Years ago.
My favorite shot, and it was so funny reading this article, and I'll link it's like a spam article. People are like, whoa, it's real. No.
I injured my back that day.
You injured your back that day.
Before you got there, I was trying to shoot stuff with my wife. and I was doing flips onto, I think it was like just doing like a half flip and landing on my back on
I
the sand.
show up and you're like, I've been doing flips. And I was like, no.
But not flips because I couldn't. Just like jumping in midair, turning around so you land on your back. Like half a flip.
Stupid.
So you're injured.
Just even describing it makes me upset. My favorite shot that we did for your video was when you ran from a very, very far distance. That's still, to me, one of the funniest jokes because I remember editing it and being like, I think we have to keep this all in. Like the full length of the run.
And we did. Because then I was like, this is how the video starts. And so for the first like 45 seconds, you have to watch this man get closer and closer to it.
How funny is that? Like nowadays, if that
to me, it's great.
Yeah.
If I was sitting like being like, okay, next up, who we got? No slate. Okay. What's happening? For 45 seconds.
It's not 40. First of all,
run.
it's not 45 seconds.
It's a long time.
I know, but it's so funny because you do go, what's happening? Anyways, we'll post it on our Instagram.
Yeah, we're talking about it and people don't know because like I was dying that day.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. I think we also got corn dogs and then we went to our favorite bar.
Dean's.
We went to Dean's. Anyways, that was a really funny time. Oh,
We should have filmed us at Dean's and that's our workout. Anyways.
Oh my gosh. I have to get my bike fixed today. It's so warm. I can't and I shan't.
I haven't got my bike down here yet, so I think I have to just throw in the towel and be like,
right.
I was holding off because I spent a whole bunch of money on a bike like months before I moved.
Where's your bike?
It's, my parents have it right now.
So you'll get it eventually.
It's how do you ship a bike? Well, we won't get into this right now, but what I'm saying is I might throw in the towel and bite the bullet. And
if they ever came to visit it, they would just put it in the cargo.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Or there's some, this is just logistics now. We have some pals that have driven to Canada. So see if they'll hook that to their car.
Just tie a string to the front handlebars and into the back of your bumper and bring it on down.
I miss biking. I'm excited to do it. I need to get shredded. Like now is the time. It's time, so it's happening.
Yeah, get on. Well, you bike it. You Peloton. We all know this. Anyway,
I know, but now I'm just going to be doubling that situation. So I'm excited.
Excited. Except you know what? All the stuff you bought today ain't going to fit in 2 weeks.
Because I'm going to be too little.
Or you're going to be ripped muscles and you're going to be like the Hulk ripping through these things like your arms.
Listen, that's already happened once, right? I popped a full thick pair of jeans and then I was bare assing in an Uber. So
I don't want to get into it, but I don't know if that was from muscle. You know what I mean?
What do you think it was from?
I've sat down in pants before and ripped them, and it wasn't on my end. It wasn't from muscle. But you're right. You said you were working out and you're on Peloton, and all of a sudden you were like, my thighs are muscle.
I thought you meant first of all, I thought you meant that I had just gotten bigger. Which is
the
first
case,
implication.
I think I was reverting to my own case. And I was like,
sure.
I have for sure ripped holes in my pants.
Sure. Or I fully shit my pants and just destroyed my pants.
No, I didn't think fully shit your pants.
That happened.
If you got shits that are ripping your pants, killer, dude.
That happened to my, Stacy's new nickname, the double situation. That happened to my dad's friend. He was wearing a white suit in the 70s, and one of my dad, like, he was showing these photos of his friend, and this friend was just like leaning up against like a fireplace with a white suit. And then I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, right after that photo, he shit his pants, ruined that suit."
Never wore it again.
So apparently he was trying to do a joke, and he was like posing near the fireplace, really sexy. And then he goes, "Hey, fellas." Oh, I ruined his suit. Yeah. So.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, so I have some celebrity stuff to go through, but you said you had things to talk about as well, and I want to make sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be into it or not, but
Classic to us. Let's get into it.
This is one of my over the weekend things. I took a bit of not a deep dive, but a shallow dive into things that are listed under the Mandela effect. Do you know what the Mandela effect is?
Of course, we've talked about the Mandela effect.
Well, I jumped into a couple things and I was like,
first of all,
"There's no way this is true."
Jameson said he's drawn to your perfect hair curl and he can't stop looking at it. Don't take it
Thanks,
away.
man. I hate. I mean, like, I won't say thank you. I'll just take the compliment before I start being the Jason DeRoss, because, like, you know.
Okay, so what's this Mandela effect? Let's get into it.
Well, for anybody that doesn't know what it is, it's kind of like a collective incorrect memory. That's a terrible way to put it, but it's like we collectively remember things improperly.
Yeah.
Like Luke, I'm your father. He doesn't say Luke. I think that's one of the more famous ones. Yeah. It's called the Mandela effect because people collectively remember that he died in prison, which is not true. He didn't. He got out and then years later passed away. So that's why it was coined the Mandela effect by this psychologist. But there was some that I found out that I was like, do you know that Forrest Gump, I don't even know if this should be listed under the Mandela effect, or it's just like we never knew the right answer. But like, do you know that Forrest Gump doesn't say life is like a box of chocolates? You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. What does he say?
Life was like a box of chocolates.
No.
You never know what you're going to get.
No, sorry, Mandela.
He does. And me, because I was like, I got to check this out. And I went and watched the clip. He says life was like a box of chocolates.
That doesn't even make sense.
It does not make sense. I mean, like, it's Forrest Gump. But
do you think that we as a society just went, let's make it better? And we all just went, no, is.
He does say it kind of quickly. So like you could kind of take, but when you listen to it, you're like, and you know it, you're like, he definitely says the word was. But here's the thing.
Like, this is why I think this Mandela effect is totally true. Because like Tom Hanks has no one has ever corrected. Like he wasn't like, hey, that's not the saying. Like even
okay,
like
well,
Luke,
how about this one? How about this one then? Sally Field's acceptance
and
speech.
Jan just said that in the chat. I know, she doesn't even say, you love me. You really love me. She's like, what does she say?
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
That's what Sally Field says when she wins the award.
Well, you know what? I never even connected the two. Of course, Sally Field. But in Sally Field's acceptance speech, do you know what she says? That famous
She
line?
goes, you love me. You really love me. But she doesn't really say that. She
doesn't say that at all.
What does she say?
It's written down in the other room, but it's something.
Can you go to the other room and get it, please?
I probably threw that paper out.
So you wanted to talk about the Mandela effect, and you wrote it on a loose piece.
I will tell you what it is, though. I will tell you. It's like.
Oh my God! Do you guys see what I'm dealing with here? Hey, Stacey, I'd really like to talk.
It's great to know that. She talks about how like it's last time it wasn't as special, but now this time it's like it's great to know that you like me. Right now, you like me.
Yeah.
She never says the word really, and she doesn't say it together.
You like me. You really like me.
She doesn't say that at all. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's not.
But then people are like, is it explained by like Luke? I am your father, because Chris Farley does say that in Tommy Boy when he's talking to the fans. So it's like, is that what we all remember?
Yeah,
Jameson's
I think
right too. Another one is play it again, Sam. He never says that.
Really?
But it's a line that we all remember.
I think the takeaway for me is I have been talking about Tommy Boy for the last almost 3 weeks, and I think it's time for a rewatch. I think I'm going to do it tonight. Or Wayne's World, because I've been talking about it forever.
Yeah, well, we should definitely do a Wayne. Maybe we'll do Monday Movie again next week, but it'll be Wayne's World, and we'll just call it right now.
I mean, I would love to, because it's truly one of my favorite movies of all time, and I just like want to celebrate it.
I love it. I love it.
I hope it doesn't Mandela effect on Monday.
Mandela effect. The evil queen never says mirror, mirror on the wall. She says magic mirror on the wall.
First of all, you just went Manila effect.
Manila effect. Curious George does not have a tail. Tom Cruise does not wear sunglasses in risky business.
Jan just said this. When you remember something, you are only remembering the last time you remembered it. It's a memory of a memory. Whoa. Big
Shock DJ in the house.
That is so true, because I honestly, and I have done this live on the podcast, I have stolen a memory from Audrey that she told me, but I just so vividly was like, oh, I saw that.
I think this is why old people's stories are always so like rich, because all you're doing is building on it every time. And like by the end, this time that you went and got 2 scoops of ice cream turns into like there was a parade going by, and you're like, I've got I got a whole fucking like
No, totally.
jug of ice cream.
Like when you're 34 and your parents like convince you that your childhood was great, and you're like, what? My memory of a memory is different.
My psychiatrist says I'm blocking it out, but I don't remember my psychiatrist.
Like, I don't know if this is just me, but did you ever catch yourself growing up being like, oh, I don't like that? And then you're like, wait a second. Do I not like that? Like, I convinced myself.
Give me an example, because I don't know exactly what you mean by that.
So I convinced myself that I not only didn't like math, but that I was bad at it. I was like, oh my God, I was so bad at math. Oh my God, I was terrible at math. I was really bad at math. Like, that was my narrative.
This is where the secret's starting to come into play too. It's like we put it into our own.
No, but this was me like as an adult, like out of school, just being like, oh my God, I'm so bad at math. Then when I was an academic advisor, you could access people's records. So the narcissist in me was not looking up anyone else's records. I was like, yeah, I'm deep diving on me. Like, what are people saying, you know? And
I don't think you're supposed to look up on other people's records either.
No,
unless
of course.
they ask you to.
Right, but I gave myself consent. So I looked up my own records, and I was so good at math, like across the board 90s. But like my parent...
Until when?
Through high school.
There was never like there it was, grade 11. Oops.
No, I quit math because I was like, for some reason, something lodged in my mind where I was like, I'm not smart enough to do math. But all of my grades were in the 80s and 90s for math. It makes no sense.
How much percent is 80s and 90s?
What? Carry the 4, pass the 2, divided over A. I gotta find
What's
the
80% of 100?
80% of 100. When you carry the 3 and you take it over to the 2. But it's just so crazy of like, oh yeah. Follow us, people. Friday at 9. Always a new show. But yeah, anyways, it's just crazy how we like, you know, when it's like when my mom was like, I hate avocados. I was like, when have you ever had an avocado? She goes, I just know I hate it. I go, when's the last time you had an avocado? I just don't like them.
Your mom and Charlie should chat about food. Actually, I would watch that cooking show. I don't like that either. Has either of you ever tried it?
No,
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I try and do like Jedi mind tricking with my nephew where he was like, my mom has convinced him he doesn't like salad. And I'm sure like my brother and stuff, his dad and stuff, he's like, he doesn't eat salad. I go, he always eats salad at my house. They're like, no, he doesn't. I'm like, I've seen it.
Stacey, you're just remembering a memory.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're all fight clubbing it, right? Like we all have a person there that's the whole time that we're just like, no, that guy exists. That's
like when we thought we were so gross, and I look at photos, I'm like, I was so thin, it's like illegal. Like I should have gotten to prison. I should have head to prison, like honestly. You know? What are you laughing at?
I think some of my childhood memories are actually dreams.
Kayla in the chat is profound.
Yeah.
I personally feel a lot of notions about what kids like is perpetuated by adults. 1,000%. Well, look, when you're in school and they're like, oh, the vegetables are coming. And the kids are like, no. It's like, I was the one kid in class being like, that sounds sick. Are we getting a plate of those?
Did you have an imaginary friend?
I don't remember having one. I remember like pretending, like, do you remember the show Ghostwriter?
No.
So that was like a TVO show in Ontario.
But I was probably also.
You were probably like 27 at the time. I was like maybe 6.
So if I was watching it, I was probably just drunk, and it was like, what is this?
Isn't that crazy that I was like, whoa, Ghostwriter? And you were like, oh, fuck, I fell asleep on the couch.
Give my friend Stacy a call. Hey, you watching this?
Yeah. I can only watch it for a couple of minutes, so my mom wants to watch. She got to put her soaps on.
How's your mom doing?
She's drunk. I'm kidding.
Me too.
Absolutely not. My mom, she doesn't really drink. But do you ever remember, like, I don't know if your mom was like this, but like my mom like rarely drank, but she would have a few glasses at like maybe like we're having a summer night or it's Christmas or something, and just get looped. And she was like, "Woo, we're having fun. Mom's having fun tonight." And you're like, "Who are you?" Like the first time you see your mom half cut.
I think I like my mom's the best, but I think we have different moms.
Well, first of all, yeah, your mom's dope as all hell.
I remember we were at like a cabin or cottage, and my parents were there with us all the time. It wasn't like we would go up there alone, but we would still like bring friends and party. And this is like as adults.
Yeah, but your parents hang.
I specifically remember, and maybe it's just a memory of a memory. So allegedly, but we were all like playing like a card game or whatever. I just remember like getting into it, all drinking. So we're probably playing King's Court.
Love King's Court.
And then we heard someone yell from the water, and we're like, "What's going on?" And this is like 2 or 3 a.m. And we can just see like the two edges of a pink pool noodle coming out of like either side of a person in the thing. And it was just my mom with her wine in the lake, just being like, "Whoa,
that's the best.
Who's coming in?"
That's my favorite story of your mom.
But that's when you say favorite story, it's like I might have told you that one before, but like
it happened all the time.
That wasn't uncommon.
No, but that's the best. Your mom's the best. Like your mom's so great.
My mom's Weekend Cindy.
And we love her. I hope she's in the chat so she can hear this. But she truly is so much fun.
Yeah,
but yeah, but to answer your question, and Kendra and Audrey say this, because Kendra says when you have 3 other siblings, there's no time for an imaginary friend. Absolutely. There was 3 of us plus my cousin. So there was 5 of us really, because my cousin lived next door. So there was like 5 kids. So my imaginary friend was silence.
I had 2 siblings, but I also had an imaginary friend. And his name was Joey. I don't remember him.
His name was Joey? That's so you. That's so you.
But it got to the point where my parents built a desk inside my closet so I could go sit in my closet with my best friend, my imaginary
First
friend.
of all, that's so smart. Can you imagine putting your kid in the closet and they want to go in there and they want to be quiet with their friend? I'd be like, let's get him a desk.
I'm realizing now as I go through life with Charlie, I'm like, a lot of motivations probably weren't like, let's do this because of X, Y, or Z. It was all, how do we get them to play by themselves and be a bit more quieter?
Being on like Instagram and TikTok or whatever during this quarantine, there's this big game that people are saying to give to your kids, and you basically take like in a bowl a bunch of water and like a duck, like a rubber ducky, and you sort of fill it and then it freezes, and then you give like a spoon or something that won't hurt them, and they have to chip away at the ice to get the ducky free. And it's just hours of them just being like, like not hours,
do you know who's
but like
done this?
You.
My mom.
I think it's genius.
I saw her do this with, it was like whenever I was back, I think last summer with all the grandkids, but she froze like a bucket of water with 100 things in there.
Yeah.
And then turn it upside down. So they're just like, you're like dig for treasure.
Yeah. Your mom's a genius.
And I'll tell you this is no joke. If you ask Charlie what he wants to be when he grows up, he wants to be a paleontologist.
Good. You know how rich he's going to be?
Yeah.
He's going to go full Ross Geller. He's going to be a Ross Geller. You ever seen that show, Friends? It comes on and off of Netflix.
Shauna named her imaginary friend boy and girl. Had 2 friends.
That's so sick. I thought my nephew had imaginary friends until I realized he was for sure talking to ghosts.
Yeah.
He was perfectly describing my deceased grandfather, who he never met, and there's like no real photos of him around, and just perfectly described him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was like, "Who's that old man laughing?" Described him.
Oh my God. Did you hear Heather's younger sister had an imaginary friend. His name was Crank, and he cracked eggs on his head.
Whoa. Well, that's like that movie Drop Dead Fred, which is like kind of dark. I loved Drop Dead Fred.
I want to watch it again. I just listened to How Did This Get Made? It's an older episode, but they didn't just do it, but I just listened to theirs. And it was, I don't know if you listen to that podcast, very funny podcast, but the cast
What title
was
is
very
it?
divided.
What's the
on
cast?
Drop Dead Fred.
What's the cast? How did this get
Paul
made?
Scheer,
Oh yeah, how did this get made? Yeah, I just didn't know if you had said it. They were divided on it. Like, what did
Yes. I think
okay.
it was Casey Wilson was on there as well. So it
Love.
was like 2 people loved it and 2 people hated it.
Casey and June?
Yeah.
Those are 2, them together. First of all, June Diane. Okay. Can we for a second praise June Diane Raphael?
Sure. Yeah.
I love her so much on a deep level. I feel like we are very similar in our tone. I love her so much.
I'm trying to track where you guys are similar, but it is like.
But she is like very refined. So the way that she speaks is like this. It's like when I'm like on the phone with a credit card company and I'm like, I have to have my shit together. I turn into June Diane where I'm like, well, that's really interesting.
This tracks for me slightly.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
because I feel like, can I talk to your manager? Like refinement doesn't enter my mind. I could see you starting off June Diane Rayfield.
Yeah.
And then just simply becoming
But June
crazy
Diane
girl that whips her own poo at the people at McDonald's.
Well, no, but I listened to Casey Wilson's podcast, Bitch Sesh, about all the Real Housewives. And when June is on, she says she is harsh. Like harsh. And she says stuff where they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, yes. Like, yes, June. Yes. She's so harsh. I love her so much. There was an episode where June Diane was getting her nail, she was getting a pedicure or she was getting a manicure done while doing the podcast. I was like, this woman I love. So maybe I'm not exactly like her, but she's certainly someone on the vision board that I aspire to be. She's amazing. Jane says she's really good on Frankie and Grace. Isn't it Grace and Frankie?
I have not seen it.
But anyways, I love June Diane. I think she's amazing. Your mom. Oh, we got Carol in the chat. Carol, did you miss us complimenting you for the past like 20 minutes?
She might be behind or something.
Let us know. Kendra just yelled my name, Stacy. Yes, Kendra, can I help you? But June Diane is amazing, and she started like an all-female work center in LA, which is incredible. She is goals to me. Goals. Jason's not even listening to me because he's talking to his mom.
I am completely listening.
He's talking to his mom.
I put memory of a memory because apparently I was doing that to escape my brother, which I didn't know. But I do remember escaping my brother because he would bite me. So I would jump onto a couch because he couldn't climb onto a couch just yet.
This is sort of classic Jason where he doesn't remember that, like, he's like, hey, man, I got really good at jumping. Why? And it's like, because you lived, like, above fire. He's like, oh, right, I forgot about that. Like, you just kind of forget about all the negative stuff. Which is just so perfect. But anyways, did you catch what I said about June Diane Rayfield?
Yes. Don't make me repeat it.
I love her. Don't make me repeat it. Oh, she goes, thanks, getting my noodle in a glass of wine. Love, Carol. I want a pool noodle in a glass of wine. Let me tell you. That's it. That's all I want.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
You've seen these restaurants now where you have to wear a poodle noodle hat. Have you seen these?
What?
They have like pool noodles that they've put in this hat, so it's like it stretches out exactly whatever 6 feet. So
no,
it's like
not
it
worth
keeps
the restaurant.
You away from it.
Not worth the restaurant. Let me tell you, I will not be a fool. Okay, here's the thing.
I'll be a fool.
People who are like, let's go to that restaurant where they insult you. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Get out of here. When I go out to a restaurant, I want to be invisible.
Although you've been to the one where you get served in the dark and everything's in the dark, and you've
We
also
all went.
I didn't go.
Oh, right. You had just left the cast. I didn't have a good time. The only good time I had was with Jan.
You went to the shit cafe or the poop cafe. For
my nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But don't tell me you didn't like that one.
I didn't. He fell asleep. What a nightmare. Here, can I tell you, and this is just my social anxiety, which I'm realizing, because first I was just like, before I went to therapy, I was just like a bitch about it. I was like, those people are dumb. But really, I'm like, oh, it's because I'm very socially anxious. But when people go to restaurants and they're like, the server's like, hi, welcome everyone. Hey, what's your name? Brian. So nice to meet you, Brian. And I'm like, oh my God. When people need to be best friends with their server and just make it a real thing, I can't.
Yeah, you've said this before, but I think it's just like salt in my wounds because I'll be that person.
You are that person, and I get so angry. Hey, so what do you guys want? Well, I had my own ideas, but Bri, what do you think? What do you like here? Oh my God, I'm just like, order something quick, please.
I see that patch on the side of your sleeve there. Is that your band?
Exactly. That is so you. You and Nigel at a dinner, put me at the other end of the table because you guys will just make friends everywhere.
Nigel has the classic. He's like, he does the classic, like, what would you order? But he does it in a way that like nobody else can.
It's so cool. Like,
I love it. But like, I'm just looking at this menu here. It's like, what do you want? If you were to sit here right now, what would you?
What would you get?
Yeah.
What's something exciting? Something cool. And they're like, whoa, well, yeah.
Even me doing that now is like me putting on a sweater that Nigel would put on, it looked terrible. But when he does it, it's smooth.
Us doing that example, we basically should just be two people who roll down a hill and then into a bucket of mustard and still have to go to work. Like that's how stupid we looked.
I could go home and change, but I'm almost there.
My favorite story.
If I could just get through the day.
My saddest.
I'm hungover too.
When you ate it on that scooter and showed up bleeding to that audition is still one of my. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
It's my favorite story of you. It's like so perfect.
I crashed so hard, like I went over the handlebars of this wheelie bike. I don't know if you know the wheelie bikes, and like ate it hard. And people like literally ran over to the road and helped me up, and were like, "You should go to a hospital." I was like, "I gotta go," and I jumped back on and went, "See you guys later." And got to my audition, no problem.
And then what did they say to you? You're bleeding.
Well, the casting director turned out to be a friend of mine, which down here is crazy because you don't run into too many people. And she came in, she goes, "Oh my God. Oh my God, what happened to you?"
You're bleeding.
I was like, "What?" And she goes, "You have blood pouring down your arm." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even see it because it was on the other side of my arm." And I was like, "Oh, I'm covered in blood."
Brutal.
Anyways, booked it.
I want to tell you, like me falling, okay, is the most, there's no coming back. Like I fell hard last year. I still have 2 scars on my knees from the fall. Okay.
How did you fall to land on both of your knees? That's a weird fall.
Okay. It was the fall.
Okay.
But and I was walking out of a friend's house when we could do that. And so it was like their walkway and then like a drop, which was fine. And then the sidewalk. And my Uber was picking me up. Remember when we took those? And so I walked down the pathway down and I stepped on the sidewalk to get to the Uber. There's a bunch of leaves everywhere. Well, guess what? Those leaves were covering up a massive hole in the sidewalk.
Okay.
And so I stepped into the
so
hole.
Wile E. Coyote caught you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so I stepped in the hole and then I tried to catch myself. My brand new iPhone thrown, no case, onto the middle of the street. And I just went down to my knees and flat on my face. Boom, boom. It was mortifying.
That's like, have you ever played like one of those phone video games where you look like the people from the Robitussin commercial? Like that would be you falling. It's just like, zero human involved in this. This is just a mannequin falling.
Yeah, it looked like a mannequin falling. And my friends didn't do anything. They were just like, one of those, like, and then like, and then I was like, I'm fine. And then I got into the Uber and the Uber was like, big fall, huh? Or whatever. Like he mentioned it and I was like, just drive. And I was just gushing blood out of my knees. And then no one cares when you say you fell. Like when you're like, oh, I fell on the street. And everyone's like, okay. Like I think I was going to do a comedy show and my jeans, I was just bleeding through my knees.
How did you? Oh, that's crazy.
But I was like, I fell, and everyone's like, yeah, whatever. So you're gonna go on like third, and I was like, my knees, I fell. They're like, oh Jesus Christ, no one cares.
What a fun bit.
The worst fall I ever had is I went to a beer tasting with our friend Craig years ago, and I had these huge, chunky heels on. Like big boots with big heels. And
all I'm going to take from this story is like, why wasn't I there?
I don't think you lived. No, it wasn't a festival. It was a beer tasting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And his beautiful wife could not attend.
Then he likes to do these like Do you want to go to a beer tasting? Was it at?
No, it's because his wife couldn't come. I think I was like a last minute like Phil. But anyways, it was years ago. And the place was delicious. But it was like, it wasn't like I was getting hammered, right? You're just having like mini little drinks. So I just want to preface, I wasn't like, oh. And I went up to get to the bathroom. It was kind of a fancy thing. And these heels were kind of heavy or whatever. The floor was super slippery, and I kind of was like fighting the fall down the hallway. Like I was like, ooh, like pushing up against the walls, like, ooh, and then just went, and then just collapsed like a rag doll in front of the owner of the establishment. And I was like, I'm at a beer tasting. I bet you everyone thinks I'm wasted. But Craig didn't see the huge fiasco, and I just silently was like, hello.
My memory of this is you like coming out of that hallway, but like falling and trying to catch yourself. But it lasts for probably 8 minutes as you grab onto everybody's elbow in the places. You're like, ugh, and people just falling down with Craig just like, this one's.
Can I tell you? I think about that fall at least twice a month. I think it's like, especially now in quarantine, when, I don't know, tell me in the chat if you run out of things to feel bad about yourself with. Like, you're like, well, Wednesday I just hated my body for 24 hours. And then you're like, oh, and then Thursday I just felt like, oh, whatever. And then I'm like, Friday I capped out. So I remember that time I fell at that beer tasting. I'm like, yeah, I'll sit with that for the day.
You're like, oh man, everything's going good. How am I going to feel bad about myself?
Exactly. Oh,
bloody knees.
100%. I'm like, ooh, what's on the docket? What do I need here? You know what? Let's not drink water for 4 days. Yeah, let's do that.
What memory of a memory could I pull up here to make myself feel terrible again?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's pick my worst show I did at Second City and just think about all the mistakes I made.
There's that time I peed my pants in grade 6.
You ever have a deep sleep after a Zoom call because you've panicked about what you said afterwards and you're like, finally, I get to go to sleep like I used to. Okay, anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. She's a fun time. We're okay. You tired?
Yeah, always. I'm always tired now. That's true.
Do you think when you become a teenager, the reason your parents get so embarrassed is that they finally get to sleep and they have energy again and then they return to who they once were? And you're like, fucking chill out, guys. What's up with you guys today? My dad finally got to sleep all day. I know how to wipe my own ass and make breakfast. Did my own laundry. He's like, holy. And my dad's just like, what are you guys doing today? I'm your dad. You're like, ugh.
I've been a zombie for 10 years, so now what?
I bet that. My favorite on TikTok is parents who were empty nesters and now their kids are back, like quarantining together, and they've had it. Parents being like, you're not supposed to be here. That's not the agreement now. Like they finally got their lives back.
That's great.
Do you think you'll be like that? Do you think one day you'll just finally have like a deep sleep and Charlie will be like 18, he's doing his own laundry?
You know what? I've had this conversation with my wife within the last 3 hours, probably.
Really? Of just like, what will it be like to have our lives back again?
No, not in our lives back again. Just like, imagine one day of actual like sleep. Like just one.
Right.
Would be crazy.
Wait till you have your own room and you can keep the door closed and he has his own room and
yeah.
you go, get out of here.
Yeah. That's not the way yeah.
You're just loving parents. You know what I mean? Again, we talk about this all the time.
How about this? Before we get out of here, then why don't I run us through one dumb story? Because I think this one's fitting.
Oh, sure.
Not fitting for what we've been talking about, but fitting for this podcast because we did address The Last Dance. And
I have news about that. Do you know what's happening on Sunday?
Well,
it's premiere,
Sunday, June 1st?
It's the premiere of Lance Armstrong's documentary.
I thought that already premiered. They've already put one episode out.
Or maybe it was Sunday, yeah.
And people are going nuts about it.
Of course they are. Big butts.
I just
Big
saw the one
biker butt.
Lance is like, the picture is Lance doing this, like he's just giving the finger to the camera, and it's like, well, this is starting off strong.
Oh, first of all, let me tell you, not a fan of Lance Armstrong, but in a way that I am, where he's just like, he lied for so long. Did you dope up? No. Test me. Like, just the cockiness of like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to watch it because I don't know enough about the story. Like, I know the basics of it, but it's one of these things that I don't know sports enough to know what's a steroid, what goes into your body when you are training to be an athlete. Like,
I mean, I guess that's the question. It's like, I think performance enhancing drugs, it's like, first of all, we talked about this with Nigel, like the Tour de France guys, like, oh, France? Of course they were. Are you nuts? And
well, your reasoning behind that is because you think they're going to get up those hills?
You think they're going to give up those hills? But like the endurance needed to do those rides is unbelievable. Like I remember watching this, I think it was a doc that maybe Lance Armstrong had done himself or someone had. And they talk about like how it was created, like in the first few years, like men would just be drinking wine going up the hills. I'm like, you'd have to be loaded to do that, to have the confidence. And it's
I get that too. It's like I don't know, a glass of wine while you're riding a bike. It's like the Tour de France is a big annual, like it's the big one, right? Like I can't imagine the NBA championships, like LeBron stepping off to the side to drink a glass of wine and being like, to everybody. But I feel like those bike rides are so long and that it's not like you don't sprint the whole time. Like you just kind of like you have to like.
Yeah, but think about the wear and tear. And I'm not saying it's like the hardest sport in comparison to all of them. But I'm just like, even like Michael Phelps getting in trouble for smoking weed. It's like, who ever did anything faster on weed? Like, please, I'd love to meet them. The only thing I did faster was have a full blown panic attack. Just get high and you're like,
you want to see how fast I can leave this party?
100%. People are like, Stacey, come on, smoke some weed. Just smoke some weed. I'm like, all right, if you want me to go.
Oh God, everyone's staring at me. Everyone's looking at me. Anyways, I gotta go. See you later. Peace, 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 peace.
Yeah, you know what? You want to know what Stacey sounds like when she smokes weed? Just imagine 2 crash doors, just poof, closed.
And then she goes, my knees.
My knees, I fell. Who cares? Can someone care? I fell. No, but I just think it's crazy and them like transferring blood and all like the steps they took is just wild. But I think it's just, I have the assumption that everyone's taking something they probably shouldn't to be at that level. It's like a Kardashian. Like we're all doing 1,000,000 squats. Like, their butts are fake. Khloe Kardashian just unveiled what I like to call a brand new face. Truly.
Really?
She was like ready for summer. I don't even know what the caption is. Here, I'll show you it. It's wild. And we have to imagine that's because she uses Kim Kardashian's makeup. No, she changed her face. Face off. She's face off. I have to show you this. I can't.
Hannibal Lecter was the original Face Off, right?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't like anything spooky. Okay, just let me. Okay, Khloe Kardashian, new face. Mm-hmm. They keep saying Khloe Kardashian unveils a new look. I'm like, you mean face? Do you mean face? Like, it's crazy. Do you care about this?
I do. Yeah.
New face. Okay, let me just show you. New face. Ready?
I think so. How am I going to see this?
I'm going to show it in the chat. Okay. First of all, can you see that? Can you?
Kind of.
Wait, it's not. Let me see if I can get this. You know what? Let me just see if I can grab it before we end today.
I'm going to go through to our story then, because this actually is very fitting to this one story.
Okay.
You know Charles Barkley, yes?
Of course I do.
Okay. Because he says that he played a game. He just recently said this, that he played a game drunk for the 76ers. So it kind of fits into the wine thing too. But what happened was his agent was like, yo, you're being traded to the Lakers. And he was like, oh man, this is the best day ever. And he went and got hammered. But then they were like, the deal fell through. And
really?
you still have to play in your game tonight for the 76ers. And he was like, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's wild. That would be.
Yeah. he says, my agent calls me one morning and he says, hey, you're going to get traded to Lakers today. And me and my friends, we go out and we celebrate and get drunk about noon. I'm on cloud 9. He calls me back 3 hours later. It's like 3:30. He says, the Sixers backed out of the deal. And I'm drunk as fuck. And we got a game that night. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, the 76ers didn't want to pull the trigger. And I said, you're kidding me, dude. We got a game tonight. And I've been drinking since noon.
What'd he do?
I don't know, but I mean, like, he played in the game. He played.
Whoa.
The one thing that's funny, I don't even know how I played that night. I think I might have played bad because I was so angry the 76ers didn't pull the trigger, but then I just suffered for the next 2 or 3 years.
I don't even know how I would get myself together. Coffee, shower, maybe? Fear?
Well, I mean, have we ever done it? We've done a show after a few drinks, but do we ever do like a Second City, like you have to be a bit more polished sort of show after in any sort of way?
No,
Maybe
like
not.
I've had an afternoon beer and done a show, but like, and made the mistake of having drinks and trying to do a show, and it's never good. And the fear of what that feels like, no thanks. I might have a drink while doing a show, maybe 2, but 2 by the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found the photo. I sent it to you over Zoom. So you can see the chat, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen for everyone. This is Khloe Kardashian's new face. Can you see it?
Not yet. Hold on one second.
This is a new face. Kayla says, instead of gym tan laundry, coffee shower fear. That's a new face.
It doesn't look like the same person.
That is the same person. That's a new face. That's not like that's new teeth. That's a new nose. That's cheek filler.
It's also pushing your hair out of your face so we can see your face too.
Are you nuts? I don't think it's the hair in the face.
I don't think it's just that, but I mean, like on one of the pictures where it's like they tried to purposely make it be like she's hiding her face a bit, and then it's like, but look at me now, because in the old face, it looks like half of her lip is lower than the other half of her lip, and now her lips are fine in the other one.
Let's make no mistake. Here, I'll make it full screen for everyone watching in the chat. Isn't that wild? Like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, I think it's just all makeup.
I'm going to murder you. I really hope you don't get murdered, Jason, because, like, of all the times I've said I'm going to do it.
Yeah, the cops are going to be like, so when did you get on the plane?
I just can't get over this new face. It's wild. Anyways, we got on that track because I was just saying, like, it's so naive to think, like, people who are doing extraordinary things with their body. Yes, there are people who are doing it legit, but people who are like, that's unbelievable. I'm like, they're doing something. Potentially.
She kind of looks like low-key. She low-key kind of looks like Beyonce. A little bit.
And listen, I'm not against it, right? You want to do it, go for it. You want to change your face, get on it. Make sure you're doing it for you and not for somebody else. So it's not me like judging it. I just think it's a disservice. I feel like I would respect the Kardashians more if they came out and said, hey, we love that you love our faces and our butts and our businesses and all those things. Our bodies are man-made. We have created them top to bottom. So if you like it, you can get it. But if you're thinking we just did this because we don't eat carbs and we squat a bunch, that's not it.
No, this is brought to you by Pfizer or something. Like some company has literally made us.
Kaiser Permanente. Gold level Kaiser. The platinum level coverage has created my entire body. You know?
Yeah.
Listen, Jason, I would get it all sucked and plucked and pulled, and I would do it all.
On top of it, even the makeup portion of it, it's like, you didn't put that on yourself. You literally have a makeup artist come in.
Oh, they get glam every day. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, well, friends, what?
I think we had one person take this the wrong way. Mostly, I'm just jealous that I can't afford to do this too.
Listen, I am too. If you could just like, like
I did wake up this morning to be like, I wonder like how damaging that surgery is that just takes fat out of your body.
The liposuction?
Like, yeah. But they've upped liposuction to like new levels now, right?
Yeah, suck it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it out. Restart.
Get it out of here.
Liposuction is really just very successful diarrhea, really. You know, it's just a real full reset. Just imagine you took a huge shit and everything you've ever regretted eating is gone.
Yeah.
Imagine taking a massive shit that you had to wear compression garments for 2 weeks.
Don't they make soap out of fat? So like because if you can't get soap in the stores, just take your fat out, reuse it. We're good.
Oh God, Jason. I gotta get the right person to talk about the Kardashians with. Because I'm talking about new faces and you're talking about making your own body soap. I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, friends, this is us today. We will be back Wednesday. Again, People is this Friday. If you didn't get to check out the first show, you can come back on Friday.
Oh yeah, I haven't talked to you about that since. And like, I'll say like, thanks to everybody. I know you probably already did this yesterday, but thanks so much for everybody. Because we saw a few people in that chat.
Oh yeah, the regulars were showing up and it was so lovely to see. And we're so thankful and very, very lucky to have all you. So Friday, 9 p.m. we will be there again. We can watch more Come a Day, and we can talk about that tomorrow too. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Jason? If you like the show, before I let you answer, give us a little like, because it just like spreads the word on YouTube that we're doing the show, and that's always great. And if you haven't subscribed, get on that. What are you doing? Jason, Is there anything else you'd like to say?
We may get some surprise guests in this week. We definitely are having Casual Friday on Friday. And I think that's it.
Amazing. So we will see you all tomorrow, 12:30. Bring a friend, tell the world, and have a
Or 9:30 YouTube time, apparently.
No, I've changed the time zone since, so it should be okay moving forward. Oh, man.
9:30 Pacific Standard Time, my time.
12:30 for the party goers. Have a good night. Bye.